In our previous video, we looked at quantitative ways of measuring satisfaction. In this video, we're going into the qualitative ways that we understand how people are feeling. This is a very different approach and one which I've covered previously in the videos about thematic analysis. So what I'm going to talk about here is really recovering ground that I've covered before. I recommend you go and watch the previous videos on thematic analysis, and that will give you a great walkthrough of what is going on. I'll put script links in the description so you can get straight to it. But what are qualitative methods? Well, they provide insights which may have numerical base, but the numbers don't define the facts that are going on. They let you understand why people are feeling the way they do, and rather than saying what they're doing. Generally, these have low sample size, so maybe you'd have 3 or 5 people. In my research, I like to have between 8 and 16 people, but for smaller projects, you can get away with 5. Now, management don't like qualitative as much because they can't track it over time, and they can't go to the board meeting and say, look at how we've done 100% improvement, or look at how we're better than our competitors in this very technical way. And they really are difficult to compare over time because what one person's experiences can be very individual. They may represent the crowds of your users, but they may not. What they are doing is directing the design process. So whereas your first prototype might have ASQ, after scenario questionnaire, your second level of prototypes might have expectation measure, and then your final prototypes might have satisfaction, SUS. Your qualitative analysis is going to happen from your very first prototype, maybe even your paper prototype, maybe even your experience prototype from the very first stage, because it shows you the direction that people are going into and explains why things are happening. Now, they're also really useful to happen after you've done your quantitative analysis. So you found out that your performance isn't very high, satisfaction's a bit low maybe. So running a qualitative investigation using tricks I'm about to show you is a great way to understand the direction you should be going in to solve those issues that your metrics have identified. There's 3 stages that you go through. There's before using the website, during the website, and after the website. Now, before you use website, you want to interview somebody. You want to understand the ideas that they have about your website already. Do they have ideas that you're wonderful or complex or scary, whatever it is? Common themes that you're looking at are asking somebody if they're familiar with the website. You've got to ask them, what do you think about a website? And then you've got to ask them how easy you think completing tasks at the website will be. During the website use, you have a thing called Think Aloud protocol. Think Aloud is one of the most important tools for a UX designer. I cannot stress this enough. UX design lives off Think Aloud. So what you do is you give someone a task and you ask them to talk through everything they're thinking and doing as they're using your website, as using your app, whatever it is. So you really go into what they're doing, thinking and feeling. Common areas are, I'm looking at this item, I'm trying to find this button, I'm feeling a bit lost, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling bored, I'm feeling excited, I can keep going on for days, whatever it is. You get them to really spill the beans. This is something of a skill, and most people coming into the test, being put in front of a computer and asked to think aloud, will find it very difficult. So it's useful if you were to sit down with somebody and show them how to do it, to give them a guide. This video coming up is me doing a Think Aloud exercise on the BBC Good Food website. Halloween is coming up and I'm throwing a party. I've got some friends who have some allergies, so I want to find some Halloween food that I can make for my friends that is good for their allergies. Now, their allergies are gluten intolerance and a nut allergy, so quite common ones. I'm going to use the BBC Good Food website to see if I can find the recipes. So let's do a usability test on this. So I'm looking on the website, I'm just scrolling down, seeing a Halloween thing around here. A little dark. Oh, Halloween cupcakes. Okay. I'm looking for a link to Halloween stuff. but it's not there. So I can click on this. Okay, that's an advert. I don't actually want that. So scrolling up again. Okay, I've seen a Halloween icon here. I'm just going to click on that. So, right, some scary stuff. This looks good. Things for kids. I'm not too bothered about healthy stuff because we all like, sweets. So here I am. I've got recipes, but okay. The problem I've got, I can't see any filters. I'm looking for a filter, but I can't find anything, which is annoying. So, biscuits. It's definitely not gluten free. I'm just going to go and. Okay, I've just seen they've got vegetarian things written there. That's cool, but it's not what I want. What about Control F? Gluten? No, gluten? G? Okay, some G's, but there's no. Okay, so there's no gluten-free thing, so I'm finding it really hard to get what I want because there's just no options there. So I'm down to just guesswork. I'm going to click on toffee apples. No, I'm going to try a bit harder. Pumpkin hummus. That sounds good. I think that's gluten-free, but again, I'm looking at this. Okay, so I've seen this as gluten-free, and looking at the ingredients, I can see there's no peanuts. So this is a gluten-free and peanut-free dish. I can definitely make this as a snack for my friends, but I'm not very happy because I'm going to have to search through all 50-something recipes to find Halloween food. It's not very good. So last thing I'm going to try, I'm going to recipes here. Explore recipes. So I'm giving up on the Halloween theme. Again, there's no. Right, autumn. Maybe I can go into the autumn section and do a filter. Again, there's no filter. So I'm wondering, do I have to go into a special gluten-free section? Which I don't like because it makes me feel that my friends are somehow not right. And if it's me, okay, here we are. Oh, that menu's gone. That was very fast. So I'm going to hover over here again. Okay, so I've seen the special diet section, gluten-free. I don't want to have to do this. Okay, here I am. So I guess I can do this quite easy now because peanut allergies are relatively easy to deal with. I guess I've got to make sure that any products I buy are peanut-free. And I guess I can find Halloween food if I just think about it. Like I can do harissa chicken tray bake. But yeah, I'm not very happy because I'm having to do a different path than what other people would do. So yeah, not happy about this. After the user has completed the task on the website, you need to interview them again. And you need to ask what they found out of the website. Common themes would be how easy was it to use? Would you want to use the website again? And how does it compare to other websites you've been used? And do you think it had enough functions? Is there too much, too little? During all these interviews, the before, the during think aloud, and the after interview, you need to be at least recording the person. Get yourself a good quality microphone. Get yourself a video camera if you can. Record the screen of the computer. You want to really record this because what you're going to do next is thematic analysis. You're going to transcribe everything they say and do. This does take time. If you're doing it by hand, 1 hour of audio takes about 4 hours transcription. You can use online services such as otter.ai. It's a paid-for service after a certain point, and don't expect it to be perfect. Otter does make mistakes. I found in my research that manually typing out verbatim what the person has said takes the longest time, but you're very, very familiar with all the words, all the themes, so that analysing everything becomes very easy. The next part of thematic analysis is highlighting insightful sections. So everything they're doing, you might highlight with D codes, and then you go through the paper, count up how many things occurred. So I'm going to go and give you an example of that now. So here is a transcript that of the video you just saw. All the doing items are in yellow, all the thinkings are in green, all the feelings are in blue. The first part I just go over with a highlighter and I just say these are doing things, these are thinking things, these are feeling things. I then start to categorize them. So I see that everything with a D1 is about the same thing. It's searching for Halloween items. Everything with a D2 is about clicking on things. And you go forward, there's F3 is about wanting to filter content and so forth. You just go through and type them up. And as you're doing so, you're creating a table where you're defining what each of these numbers mean and you're counting how many times it occurs. As you're doing this, you might make a mistake. You might have to go back and make sure that D1 and D9 actually are different. It's very common to make the mistake of creating two different themes that are the same thing. So recoding to get the number of subcategories down is a wonderful way of doing that. If you want to know more about thematic analysis and how to write it up, the videos on the channel go through everything in great detail. I really recommend you go back and watch those earlier videos.